ZFS.
There he is. ZFS in the house.
ZFS.
You love to see it.
How's it going, ZFS?
Oh, man, it is going good. I can get used to that. ZFS LFB, baby.
Wow.
He gets it.
Wow.
He gets it. Yeah.
What'd you learn?
Well, I learned that Zach Wilson can be incredibly entertaining, and I guess we knew that one way or the other. We knew Zach Wilson could be entertaining, but that was confirmed. Sources can confirm that Zach Wilson is entertaining one way or another. And one thing that I learned after the game today, when Sean Payton was talking at the podium, he dropped a little bomb in there. He said, we've kind of felt this way this whole time, that we can keep all three quarterbacks and that, we're going to keep all three quarterbacks. So Sean throwing that out there. But, guys, I think it might be a little bit too honest from Sean, because I don't know if Sean would just go out and tell us exactly what they're going to do at the quarterback position 48 hours before cut day. I think what might be happening is the Broncos might be trying to trade one of their two backup quarterbacks. Maybe boost that stock up. Look, Jarrett Stidham didn't get a lot of work this preseason, but when he did, it was okay. It was solid. When Zach Wilson was out there, it was spicy. It was entertaining. It was fun. And honestly, it was the best Zach Wilson that the NFL has seen since he was drafted. Now, there were obviously 2 or 3 moments today that could have been turnover plays if maybe you're going up against a starting defense and they catch the passes that's thrown right into their chest that hits their hands, and Lucas Kroll has to turn into a defender in order to break the pass up. But, I mean, still 250 yards through the air, 22 on the ground. 3 total touchdowns, almost 40 points put up between Zach and Jarrett today. So I think there might be a little bit of that going on. And anytime Sean talks about Zach Wilson over these past 3 weeks, boy, does he just sing his praises. And you think, okay, maybe he's just really trying to boost Zach's confidence, or is he trying to boost his trade value? So again, Sean said it after the game today. We're going to keep all 3 guys. Is that being just very upfront with us about what's going to happen now that all 3 are under control and there's no games left? Or is there a little ulterior motive going on, whether it's with Zach or with Jarrett Stidham? Because I honestly, guys, from everything I saw today in this past month, I'm interested in keeping all 3 on the team. Obviously, you're keeping Bo. But if Bo, there's no wood around here. I'm touching all the wood in the world, though. Let's say Bo gets hurt. But, yeah, thank you. Jay's always touching my wood for me. If Bo if Bo misses a quarter, a game, anything like that, you probably want Jarrett Stidham in the game if you need to win a game. Now, let's say something longer term happens and you want to just see what happens over an 8-game stretch. Give me Zach Wilson. And honestly, when it comes to the quarterback position, it's so important. Would you rather have 3 quarterbacks, or would you rather have a back-of-the-roster Hank sort of guy? Give me 3 quarterbacks. I think this is an easy decision if you can't flip Zach for more than you traded for him just a couple months ago.
Wow.
That's interesting.
That is.
Any chance Stidham would be the guy they try to trade? He did not look great today.
Yeah, he scored a touchdown. Drake, come on. Jeez, Stidham's the hater over here. In the locker room after the game, you guys are going to love this. He said he was very disappointed when he did not get the starting quarterback job, and said that he knows he is a starter in the NFL. He is capable of being that, and he is that. But Zach Wilson took a very different approach when asked about what his reactions were to not being named the starter. He said, yeah, I think we all saw it coming. Bo had a great training camp, and we weren't surprised at all. And then they both did say we're both here in order to help Bo, and we're all about the team and winning. But when it comes to Stidham's future, the very interesting thing about him, they can save $5 million in cap space if they just cut him or if they trade him. That's a significant amount. Sean was asked about that after the game, and he just scoffed at that. He said, we have all the money that we need to. This isn't going to be a financial decision. Well, okay, yeah, Sean, it's not actually about, do you have the $5 million in cap space? Of course you do. They're on your team now, so it means you have the cap space. But it's, do you want to save $5 million? The biggest thing that the Broncos will have to answer is how much do they trust Zach? How much do they trust Zach? Not how exciting Zach can be, not how good he can be. I mean, we saw how good he can be. You take away 3 potential turnover-worthy plays today, and he can be great.
Yeah.
He can be elite. But, like, you can't say Zach Wilson and not say, like, after you take out the turnover-worthy plays there. So, again, it's just about how risky the Broncos want to be. Jarrett Stidham is without a doubt the safe play as a backup quarterback. Zach Wilson's the enticing, exciting, not just backup quarterback, but, like, what could he turn into in the future sort of guy? So that's why you have 2 totally different quarterbacks here. I'm just going to keep them both behind Bo Nix because I think there's one that's really good in one situation and one that's really good in another situation. And it's $5 million for the most important position in sports. I keep them both. But what I also wouldn't be surprised if the Broncos do is they approach Jarrett Stidham in the next 48 hours and say, hey, we love you, but you got all your guaranteed money last year for the most part. We want you on our team. How about a little pay cut? Let's bring that $7 million cap hit down in order for you to stay on this team. And maybe we're talking about a renegotiated contract for Jarrett Stidham in the next 48 hours. That or a trade for one of these guys. But more realistically, I think they're all 3 on the team after trying to trade them.
Traymon Smith, Lil Jordan Humphrey, and Samaje Perine. None of them played today. Does
Yeah.
that mean they're going to be in the building next weekend?
No, it does not mean that. And the reason because of that is you know what you have from all 3 of those guys. I mean, I could have told you before training camp what you had in all 3 of those guys. And so there was no reason to have those guys out on the field today, risk injury, which then would guarantee some of their contracts or all of their contracts. And it's kind of like with Jarrett Stidham. Like, Stidham went out there, played 1 series today. It's like, well, don't you want to see a little more of him? No, we all know what Jarrett Stidham is. In fact, Jarrett Stidham even told us after the game, we all know what Jarrett Stidham is. He said, yeah, they know what they have in me. That's why I only needed to play 1 series. So it's those guys. It's those veteran guys. Now, let's say if this were a true rookie, like let's say Troy Franklin didn't play today or something, then I'd be saying like, okay, yeah, he's for sure a lock to make this team. Or Devon Vele didn't play, or Bo Nix didn't play today. Yeah, it's because he's a lock to make this team. The veterans, you know exactly what you have in them, and it's about seeing these younger guys and see if these younger guys can beat them out, like a Tyler Beatty, like a Blake Watson. Can those guys overtake a Samaje Perine?
Well, after today, what do you think's the toughest decision come cut time, Zach?
Well, I think it's going to be that quarterback position and just deciding what you do there. But outside of the quarterback position, you look at guys who made a case today and made a strong case to keep them. Jordan Jackson having 2 sacks today. That's like, oh, shit, man. If we wanted him to slide through to the practice squad, now he just put really good film out there, an easy film to find, like the big touchdowns, the big sacks. Those are the ones that really catch teams' eyes, and you think, well, maybe that's going to be tough. There was about 6 to 8 positions or spots on this roster up for grabs right now. So you look at the defensive line, offensive line as well. Is Poshevsky going to make it? Forsythe gave up a really tough sack where, I mean, he just got bamboozled. And Zach Wilson got really taken down. Does he even make the team? I mean, I would still think so, but he's the guy that's on the bubble. So in the next 48 hours or so, George Payton and Sean Payton are going to meet multiple times to not just work on their roster, but to look at the waiver wire. And the one guy that Sean Payton always likes to point at when it comes to the waiver wire is at 1:30 or 2 a.m. That's when Sean Payton found Taysom Hill sitting out there as as a free agent on the waiver wire. That's when they picked him up. So John's going to be looking for his next Taysom Hill, as long as it's not Nate Atkins who got in the end zone today.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think we're ready to let you go, ZFS, and I will, 10 a.m. show tomorrow?
10:30.
10:30. Damn, if we keep flipping that. 10:30 a.m. tomorrow. We'll be back, though, and you all can see more of ZFS. We'll see you later.
Man, LFB, THX, BOYS.
Oh, man, I thought he was just flipping us off.
Whoa, I thought he was flipping us off, too.
Legendary.
Yeah, probably deserved.
That would have been a true ZFS move right there.